What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. SLIN here, talking about how I got my Community Medigun. And it's not a story that I tell very often, so yeah, you guys are in for a treat. The thing about the Community Medigun that I think is kind of interesting is that you're not really ever trying to get it on purpose, and the people who are trying to get it on purpose are doing it for the wrong reasons, and they'll likely never get one. But there are people who get community items and it's really unintentional. You're not ever intending to do it. You just happen to do stuff for the Team Fortress community, and then Valve happens to notice and they give you a community item. Now, the way that you get a community item is actually pretty interesting. So what will happen is Eric Smith, who works on the Team Fortress 2 team at Valve, will actually send an email to your Valve email. And it goes something like this: "Congratulations! You've been selected to receive a community weapon in Team Fortress 2 as recognition of your continued efforts to build and maintain the Team Fortress 2 community. You may select any single base weapon for any class from Team Fortress 2, and a community quality version of that weapon will be added to your account. Just reply back to this email and let me know which weapon you'd like, and we'll take care of it. Please also send me a link to your Steam community profile so I can ensure the weapon gets sent to the correct Steam account. Do not send your Steam account name. I only need a link to your community profile and I can look up the rest. Congrats again, and thanks for all of your contributions to the Team Fortress 2 community, Eric Smith, Valve." So it's actually kind of a cool email to get. When I first got it, I thought I was getting scammed. I thought that there's no way like Eric Smith actually sent me an email, and there's probably some way like someone found my email address somewhere and is trying to scam me out of something. So I contacted Alex Van Camp, also known as Lang, who has 3 community items, and he's very experienced with this. He coded the My Gaming Edge mod, the one that everyone uses to play 1v1s. So he's very experienced with this, and I was like, "Hey Lang, is this right? Like, am I getting scammed?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, just give him your Steam link. There's no way they can possibly scam you out of this." And yeah, told him I wanted a Medigun. Now, the reason I wanted a Medigun is because, 1, I'm a medic, and 2, I figured that I wanted everyone around me to know that I got this community item, and whenever I heal you, it'll say Community Medigun. So that was like, those are the 2 main reasons why I wanted the Community Medigun and not something else. I mean, there's so many options you can choose from when you're choosing base weapons. You can go for something that you're going to use a lot, for example, like a scattergun or a rocket launcher, or you could go for something that no one else has, like an Uber saw or something. Like not many people have a community Uber saw, but I figured the Medigun will get a lot of use, and I had to put my legendary Medigun to rest, and I just haven't looked back since then. I actually really like the community sparkle effect. I think it's a very cool effect to have. It just kind of shines a little bit. And if you combine it with the wiki cap that you get for being a wiki contributor, your entire body sparkles. And I actually tried to get that once, but then I realized I'm doing the same exact thing that you're not supposed to do to get a community item. You're just supposed to, I mean, the real truth about community items is that if you're contributing to the community, you're never really expecting anything in return. And honestly, even if you were to get a community item, that kind of compensation is not worth the hundreds of hours of effort that you're putting into developing the community and expecting nothing in return. So it's not something you should try and aim for. It's just something that's kind of nice to have. And actually, when I emailed Eric back, I said, "Eric, thank you for your email. Here's my Steam link. The weapon that I would like is the Medigun. Would it be a bad time to ask about the reason that I specifically received the Medigun? I'm very grateful, but I'm curious to see if there's anything that I did specifically to earn the weapon. Thanks again." And he said, "Done. Let me know if you have any problems." But to answer the question, nominations were made via the community and then investigated with a smaller committee. So I'm not quite sure how nominations are made. Maybe people are emailing into Valve and saying, "Hey, this guy deserves one," etc., etc. But I got my community weapon at the same time that many other people got their community weapons. In fact, there were an entire wave of community weapons that went out at the time that I got mine, including all of my co-casters, production members, anyone who was casting for like X Television, Vanilla TV, Team Fortress TV, these organizations. I mean, these are the guys who are putting in, hundreds of hours casting high-level TF2 and not really expecting anything in return. I mean, we don't get paid to do that kind of casting, so the scene's just too small, and it's really cool to see that Valve was able to give us recognition for that and give us those community weapons. So that's how I got it. Now, the interesting thing about the whole community thing is that if you go to the Team Fortress 2 wiki and look up community effects, you can actually click on this link that'll show you the entire list of community item holders. And I'm down there under Mr. SLIN, and there it'll say Mr. SLIN created the Community Fortress Mentor Program. And you're like, well, how did that get there? Well, the funny thing is, I actually put that there. Scumbag SLIN edited the wiki article and put in his own reason for putting it in there. Because at the time, I was thinking, like, what have I done that, like, people might possibly recognize? And I just wrote that in there. I just wrote in, like, I created the Community Fortress Mentor Program, because I did create this program where, high-level TF2 players were coaching and mentoring lower-level TF2 players. And over the course of the program, we had over 100 different mentors and mentees come through. And I myself have actually mentored, 70 people or so individually at the time. So I thought that was the reason why I got the item. But then, under notes, I also put streamer and TF2 caster, because I just put everything that I do just to be safe. Just so anyone who decides to look at this later on will be like, why did Mr. SLIN get it? That's why. But I'm almost certain that the reason why I got the actual weapon itself is because I was a shoutcaster at the time. I was casting a lot of TF2 events. We were doing ESEA LAN. We were doing just every single match that we could find and cast and bring to the Team Fortress 2 community. We were trying to spread awareness of competitive TF2. So I think that's why I got it. And I'm really glad that I have it now. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing to have. Not a lot of other people have it. Obviously, there's unusual weapons now and so many other effects that actually look way cooler than the Community Sparkle. When the Australian items came out, I was actually kind of upset because having a gold-plated medigun seemed so much cooler than having a medigun that occasionally sparkles. But, it's just kind of nice to have. I'm not complaining. If you check out the list, there's, hundreds of people who actually have community weapons now, which is really cool to see. And if you want to get your own community item, what I have to say is, don't actually try and get one. It's such a, a pie in the sky, like, you're never going to get one kind of situation. I really don't recommend that you try and contribute to the community in an attempt to get a community item. These things are given out really rarely, and I just don't think that it's worth trying to go through all the effort that you would need to go through to actually get the weapon. But if that's something you're interested in, just contribute to the community, be an active member, and maybe one day Valve will recognize you for your efforts. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.